Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, that was a little, good morning. Oh, thank you for whoever you were, disembodied voice online. I appreciate that. Okay, so welcome, everyone, to the UNLV Graduate College Bridge Program. BRIDGE stands for Building Resilient and Inclusive Discoveries to Graduate Education. So everyone in this room should be, and in the virtual space, should be a new graduate or professional student at UNLV. If you are not, you may have wandered into the wrong room. But I think everyone here is because you've all checked in. So we are so happy to have you. My name is Alyssa Crittenden. I'm the Vice Provost for Graduate Education, and I'm the Dean of the Graduate College. So you have two homes at UNLV. You may not know that you have two academic homes, but you do. One of your academic homes is your disciplinary home, which is your program and your academic college. Your other academic home is here at the Graduate College with our team. We are the place where you go to have your questions answered about degree progression, services available to you. It will all become crystal clear, hopefully by the end of the week, what we can do for you and how we'll be able to support you throughout your degree. But a lot of the structures and the mechanistic parts of your degrees, the degree conferral, all of the milestones that you meet and how those sort of get submitted and recorded, all of that lives in the Graduate College. A lot of social networking, professional development, all the resources and support structures available to you, all of that lives here in the Graduate College. Here at UNLV, we have over 175 degree programs and 5,000 graduate and professional students. So you are joining a vibrant, large, robust community of scholars, and we are so thrilled to have you here the week before classes start. So to get things started, just to sort of like ease us into the week and ease us into the day, we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. We are also going to go online for those of us who are joining online. And if you don't feel like unmuting yourself to popcorn on the online screen, you can enter your information into the chat. And my colleague, who is also a graduate student in STEM, Sage, will read that out for you in the comment section. So we're going to start with name, pronouns, home unit, and something that excites or scares you about the coming year. So I'll start. My name is Alyssa Crittenden. My pronouns are she, her. My home department is Anthropology. My background is in human biology. I'm a full professor in the Anthropology department. And one thing that excites me about this year is all of you. The Bridge program is something that we have all been so excited to start, and here we are. So I'm going to pass it on to Sage.
Hello, I'm Sage, they, he. I'm in the Educational Psychology Master's program with the emphasis in quantitative methods, and something that excites me about graduate education, or about graduate colleges, the endless stream of opportunities to connect and collaborate with people.
Thank you. We'll go back here.
Hi, I'm Fred Kramer. I'm starting in the Public Health Master's program. Pronouns he, him. The thing that excites me, makes me nervous, is I haven't been in a classroom in 16 years, so excited to be back.
Welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Okay, hi, I'm Huda. I'm in the Research and Psychology and Brain Sciences program, and I'm a PhD student in that area. And my pronouns are she, her. And what excites me, I'm excited to be part of this vibrant community. My master's college was smaller, so I'm excited to be part of something a little bit bigger.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Lilla, she, her. I'm in the clinical psych program, PhD program. And we were just talking about this, but something that scares me is adjusting to Vegas drivers.
Okay, that's a legit, that's a legit fear, yes.
Hi, I'm Carol Ramirez, she, her, and my department is geoscience. I'm excited to TA because I used to be a high school science teacher, so.
Great, thank you.
I'm Alice, she, her. I'm in the neuroscience PhD program, and I think what I'm most excited about is my background is in linguistics, and so exploring a new field is really exciting to me.
Great, thank you so much.
I'm Maury. My pronouns are he, him. I'm in the water resource program, and I guess what excites me is, well, going to like, because yeah, I'm a PhD student, so the school I went to for my master's is a lot smaller than this school, so being in this community does excite me, and it's not like a fear. My fear is more of like a financial fear.
We will address those. That is also a legitimate fear. All fears and all excitements are welcome here, and we're going to address all of them. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Hi, I'm Asa. My pronouns are she, her. I will start a PhD in mechanical engineering. And this whole thing, the weather, the city, being in US, everything is so new for me. So I've never been in this kind of hot weather. so I don't know exactly how long it will take me to adapt. That's like kind of a little bit scary for me. Other than that, even though I'm a GA, I'm not fully aware of my responsibilities. So that is like a little bit like, I'm a little bit worried for that. So my goal these 3 days is like, okay, I'm gonna understand what to expect and what are my responsibilities. And apart from that, I'm very excited to have this experience after a long time of being far from like academia.
Great, thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, my name is Lorraine Brown. My pronouns are she, her. I am a PhD student in the School of Public Health. My emphasis is in Health Services Administration. I'm excited to start because I feel like after my master's program, I kind of left things hanging. I had a number of people nudge me to go forward. So I'm excited about that, but what scares me is I work full time. I have 2 children, and not quite sure how I'm going to balance all of this.
We're going to talk about that. Thank you for sharing.
Hi, my name is Camila, she, her. I'm in the geoscience department, and I'm excited for growth.
Wonderful.
Hi everyone, my name is Salome Abubeka, and I'm in the PhD program in public health, the Global Environmental Health Department. And I'm excited to be here and excited to collaborate and work with colleagues. But what scared me is my first time in another country, away from home. And the time difference I had, I still used to have the jet lag. Sleep during the day and all of that, but I hope to adapt.
We have coffee in the back corner. Please help yourself at any point in time. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashlyn Gray, and I actually work here at the Graduate College. I'm the Director of Graduate Financial Services, and my pronouns are she, her. And I'm very excited just to be in this room with all of you. I couldn't resist sitting through the second hour of my workday to just be here and listen to all of you and just welcome you to the Grad College.
Hi everyone, my name is Tracy Johnson. I also work at the Graduate College. I'm the Director for Retention, Progression, and Completion. And so my team oversees all of our current students. So now that you are current students, my team is here to support you. So I'm looking forward to connecting with everyone today and all week. Thanks for being here.
Hello everyone, my name is Susie Hong. My pronouns is she, her, and I'm a PhD student in interdisciplinary health sciences, and what I expected in this visit is that this is my first visit in the United States, and I came here last night. So I'm
coffee. I will point everyone to coffee again.
I'm also very excited to study with all of you and hang out with you.
So, good morning everyone. My name is N-H-A-T. You can call me David. My English name is better for you to remember my name. I'm a PhD student in computer science, but my background is financial investment. So I want to apply some data science knowledge in business area. I'm quite new here. Actually, it's my 5th day in the US, and in Las Vegas too. Yesterday I did try a walk around the city, but quite excited about the weather. It's quite hot.
I'm hearing that. Okay, we're hearing that from our international students.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Tamara. I'm from Brazil and my pronoun is she and her. I'm at the Interdisciplinary Health Science program too. I think the question is what I am not scared. I'm scared about everything. All the things is so different for me, and I'm really excited and nervous. Other thing, I'm really nervous because I'm an international student. I'm afraid to make something wrong and lost this opportunity, because I know for immigrants all the things are a little more complicated. Other thing I need to be honest is I'm glad to be in a university where the people worry about our mental health. I'm really worried about mine, because during my master's in Brazil I had problem with that, and is that?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Bao, and I am part of the Master of Education and Higher Education program. My pronouns is she and her. I am very excited to learn so many things, and also look forward to all the networking opportunities. What I'm most nervous about is that I haven't been in school for 14 years, and so now I'm considered a non-traditional student, so I am nervous about figuring out how to balance family, work, and education.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. We'll start there.
Hi, I'm Declan. I use he, him pronouns. I'm in the biological sciences program as a PhD student. What I'm most nervous about is first the heat, and also managing my time well, since I'm coming directly from undergraduate. I'm skipping my master's program to go to a PhD, so I'm nervous about that. And also basically being on my own for the first time, so being far away from family.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Emperor. I'm coming here as a PhD student. I'm an international student. 2 days here in Las Vegas.
Welcome. Coffee.
Hello everyone, my name is Andre. Pronounce he and him, and I'm also from Brazil.
See, it's happening!
Thank you so much to be here.
So I am taking a PhD in interdisciplinary neuroscience. It's under the Department of Health Science as well. And I'm very excited to be around people from other cultures, interacting, making this network much bigger than I had in Brazil, for sure. And also the research that will bring about some improved activity level and physical activity for children and teenagers with disabilities. It's something that I used to work in Brazil, and I will be able to work with that target audience here as well. I'm a little scared and afraid about how my family, I have a wife and daughter and a 5-year-old daughter, how they will navigate this transition process in this next 4 years with them. And that's what, it's a little bit tricky at the beginning, but I will get there eventually. So thank you for having me, and thank you for opening the doors for us from all over the world.
Hi everyone, my name is Rosha. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be in the clinical psych program as a PhD student this year, and I'm nervous. I really liked the state I lived in before I moved here, so I'm kind of getting used to being in a different state.
It grows on you, I promise.
Hi everyone, I'm Moira. I'll be taking my master's in public health, and as an international student, I'm excited to begin my journey here.
Hi
everyone. I'm Alyssa Gardner. I also work here at Grad College, and I help put together professional development programming. So all year long, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to learn across the board mental health resources, as well as things to help you get a job later on, help you with your research. There's lots of opportunities that you can get involved in. So welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diane Dulcie. I am so glad I went last. I promise it was not on purpose because I am the Director of Communications and Marketing here, and it was so wonderful to hear a little bit about your backgrounds because my job is to tell your stories, and there are so many stories to be told. So I'm really, really excited about the journey that you all will embark on. And I'm here, part of the Graduate College, and we're all here to support you. So congratulations on being part of UNLV.
Oh, my turn?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Houston Green. I am the Bridge Program Coordinator. So
Woo!
you guys are all here. It's going to be a week long of learning, and hopefully we'll be touching base throughout the semester. And yeah, happy Monday. We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're here. All right, Sage. What's the vibe online?
Excited, generally.
Okay. All right.
First we have, hi, Becca Magnus here, she, her, Geosciences. Excited to start school again. Madison Frederick, she, her. I'm a neuroscience PhD student and I'm excited to really delve into this field and I'm so interested to learn more. Also, I'm so sorry if I butcher your names. I'm Anson Paul, he, him, a PhD student in the mechanical department with specialization in robotics, excited to be back at school. OHIS, interdisciplinary health science PhD, excited to be in an environment where I can effectively carry out research given the equipment and technology available here. Sanjeet Saha, he, him, a mechanical engineering PhD student and excited to learn more. Katie, her pronouns are she, her, and is a PhD student in biology and can't wait to start this new year in a new country. What scares me is starting my teaching assistantship. We have Ariana Alvarez, she, her, a PhD student in the IDP neuroscience program, excited to learn new techniques and meet other students in the same boat. Gabson Bagma, he, him, I am a civil engineering PhD student. I'm excited to resume with what I've been doing at my master's level, and I'm interested in learning more. To be honest, I'm not really scared about anything. I've seen everything. I faced everything during my master's degree, so this is just time to enjoy. We love that. Mayra Boot, my pronouns are she, her. My home department is in the clinical psychology PhD program. One thing that excites me this year is having the opportunity to meet new faculty and peers. And lastly, we have Raquel Jackson, she, her, a master's student in the civil engineering department with an environmental and water resources focus. She says she's nervous about tuition and time management, especially when it comes to balancing family responsibilities, school, and research. This year, she is excited to meet in contact with other grad students and professionals and further their education. And that's everyone.
All right. Okay, let's give ourselves a round of applause. That was wonderful. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So I have already introduced myself. Sage is going to get me sorted. All right. While they're doing that, what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to give you sort of a high-level overview of why we created this program and why we think at the Graduate College that this program is beneficial and can help sort of get you started on the right foot to learn where to go, who to go to, how to find those resources you need on campus, and how to address. I didn't hear a concern mentioned today that we are not going to touch on this week. And a lot of credit goes to the Graduate College team who put all of this together for you. And that amazing ship is being steered by Houston, who greeted you downstairs. And I just really want to thank everyone. I want to thank the team for this work. It's been all summer long. Everyone's been working to put this together for you to sort of meet you where you are. And if at any time there's more information you need or more resources that we're not sharing, just holler, because that is our job. We are here to support you. Okay, so, yep, I can do it with this. So, of course, welcome. That's the most important part of today's message, and that's the most important part of us starting off today, is to welcome you here. This is an amazing time in your life, and we are absolutely thrilled to be here with you and to be starting this journey with you. And we will be here with you the whole time you are here. And we are the team that will be helping we'll be there with you when you cross that finish line. And so you're gonna leave the graduate college and go into your academic units. You're gonna get a whole new amount of culture shock once you land there. But please don't forget that we are here and that it is our job to support you and be there right behind you, helping lift you up, helping give you the nudge, helping pull you across the line if need be. That is our job, and that is what we are here to do. We are here to help you succeed in every way possible. So I already introduced myself. So the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Dean of the Graduate College. So basically this is the unit that I'm in charge of. I have the privilege and honor to work with the people here at the Graduate College. And what this means is that the Graduate College oversees all of the post-baccalaureate degrees, all of these master's and doctoral degrees, the graduate and professional degrees. They sort of live institutionally here, but again, as I mentioned in the beginning, also in your home academic unit. So you really have that dual identity, and it's that structural part that we're in charge of here at the Graduate College. I'm a professor of anthropology. In my introduction, I mentioned my background is in biological anthropology and in human biology. I'm a cisgender woman. I have white and Hispanic heritage. But also, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a dog mom, and I put that one in there because I spent 4 hours at the dog ER on Saturday night, right? I did, yes I did. So I'm also definitely dog mom was like right in there when I was writing my bio. I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend. All of these competing roles that many of you talked about, that is what we have to learn how to manage. And it's not just in graduate school, it's in life. And so we're going to talk about how we balance, how we find the time to do all of this, kind of inhabit all of these roles and wear all of these hats that we have. I am a full-time caregiver for someone who is sick. I am the sole driver in my household right now. We all have these things that weigh on us and that pull us in a lot of different directions. And the key is learning how to manage all of that and still find time to, well, we're going to talk about the mental health and well-being, but finding that time to nurture yourself and to make sure that you can meet all of those responsibilities and all of those obligations, whatever they may be. And they're different for every person in this room and every person who's online. Those responsibilities and who we are accountable to and for are different. So we're going to talk about that today. I wanted to talk a little bit about my research background, just as a way of introducing you to kind of how I think about the graduate college and how I think about graduate education and how I sort of orient my team here in this space. Anthropology is the study, very broadly, of what makes us human. And this is the definition from the American Anthropological Association. To understand the full sweep and complexity of cultures across all of human history, anthropology draws and builds upon knowledge from the social and biological sciences, as well as the humanities and the physical sciences. So this particular bridge program started in order to support students in STEM and students who are in STEM-related disciplines. Our grand plan for world domination is that every graduate student matriculating to UNLV, regardless of discipline, will be part of the bridge program one day. But right now, this program is funded through a grant from the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation that is meant to help integrate STEM students, those who are in STEM, and I call it STEM adjacent disciplines, right? Really STEM related disciplines. We use at the grad college, we use the NSF broad definition of STEM. All of you are in STEM. And this grant was meant to welcome you to graduate school. and provide you with some tools for success. And we're gonna get into that momentarily. So in terms of my research, I have training in nutrition, nutrition sciences, also nutritional chemistry, ecology, and human biology. I have experience working with a population of hunter-gatherers in Tanzania, so I've had the privilege of working the last 20 years in East Africa, and I feel very fortunate to have been able to build the relationships that I have during this time. My specific research areas are diet composition, reproduction, particularly female reproduction. I have a background in evolutionary biology in particular as it relates to the evolution of female reproduction, human ecology, and also childhood and human development. I did not have a program like this when I started in graduate school. I wish that I had a program like this when I started in graduate school. Okay, so this is the kind of type of biography that you're used to seeing when you have a person introduce themselves academically. But I also think it's important that I share a bit about my personal background with you. Because again, this is all part of the tapestry that makes us who we are. I was born in Mountain View, California. Anyone from the Bay Area? Anyone? Oh, yes, I knew this. Okay, Sage doesn't count. I already knew that. So I share a hometown with Google, and so that's like the one claim to fame that we have in Mountain View, but I will take it. So I was born and raised in Mountain View, California. I've spent my life back and forth between California and Nevada, but the vast majority of my childhood and growing up was in the Bay Area. Neither one of my parents went to college. Both of my brothers dropped out of high school and completed with a GED. I had to work full-time throughout my education, my undergrad, through my doctoral degree, and into my postdoctoral fellowship. I had to work full-time. It was very hard. It was very stressful. I made it. I'm here. I survived. I thrived. But I really could have used some assistance along the way. And the infrastructure and the support structure wasn't there when I was in graduate school when I started. It didn't exist. And what we're realizing now as a discipline, what we're realizing really the academy in general, we're realizing that students need these support structures from the moment they enter graduate school all the way until beyond, after they have completed their degrees, long after you are all in your professional careers. We are hoping to still be there to support you and to still be there as structures for you to rely on, even as alums. I'm very proud of where I went to school. To get through my education, I was a Pell Grant recipient. I was a work-study student. I received lots of fellowships, and importantly, I'm a student loan borrower. I have a lot of ambivalent feelings about student loans. I'm happy to share those feelings with you. The goal, ideally, is for all students to be able to get through their education, including their graduate education, without taking out student loans. That would be my dream. Unfortunately, that dream is not a reality right now with the cost of higher education and the cost of living. And so I try very hard to find resources for all of you so that you don't have to take out student loans. However, the vast majority of our students at UNLV will take out a loan at one point or another throughout their graduate education. So it is also important that we don't stigmatize those who need to take out loans, because we are not the arbiters of dreams. You are here because you deserve to be here. You are here because you made it into this program. UNLV is an R1 institution. Does anybody know what an R1 institution means? A Carnegie R1. Yeah.
Like a tier 1 like research school?
Absolutely. It means that UNLV is in the top 200 institutions in the country. And we are in the top 3% of research productivity of every accredited institution in the country. It is the highest ranking research designation of any institution in the United States, and we are part of that. So UNLV is an R1 institution, and you made it. So we're going to talk about financial literacy. We're going to talk about financial wellness throughout the week, but I just wanted to give you sort of my entry into these topics. Very proud of my institutions. I received my bachelor's degree from UC Santa Cruz in Northern California. The mascot is the banana slug. You can see the banana slug there reading Play-Doh. I'm very proud of that mascot. I received my master's degree and my doctoral degree from the University of California, San Diego. You can see the Triton up there in the right corner. And I also stayed at UCSD but crossed the street and went to the School of Medicine and did my postdoctoral fellowship in cellular and molecular medicine. So I take my alma mater with me, as we hope you will take your alma mater with you. You can see my UC colors, but I proudly wear those every commencement in front of the UNLV logo and on stage, and I have the privilege of conferring graduate degrees with your professors and your deans from your home college. I love commencement. It is one of my absolute favorite things. I get excited for it every single time. This photo means a lot to me. It was one time I was able to carry the mace, and it's very heavy, actually. It's very heavy. It is heavier than it looks, but I said I cannot falter. I cannot wobble. I must hold this mace proudly. So we are hoping that you will proudly be wearing your graduation robes, and we will be there to cheer you on at the end of this journey. We're at the beginning now, but we will be here with you until the end. Okay. So I'm not going to have the time that I anticipated because we decided it was more important for us to get to know each other a little bit than to get through all of this content. So the PowerPoint deck will be made available to you for you to read through at your leisure and go through kind of more deeply. We're going to do a high-level overview right now, and then I want to make sure that we have a little bit of time in case you have any questions before the next session, which starts at 10. So the Graduate College, we've sort of talked about this a bit already. It's the central administrative body that ensures the quality and integrity of graduate education here at UNLV. The Bridge program is a program designed to help you transition to graduate school and unlock what we refer to here as the hidden curriculum of graduate education. So what is this hidden curriculum? What will you be learning about this week? Graduate school has some unwritten rules. Some unwritten rules and expectations that are not necessarily easily understood upon admission. Graduate education is very different from undergraduate education. And whether you are coming in directly fresh out of your undergraduate degree or whether you are returning after some time, it's different. The graduate kind of post-baccalaureate landscape looks different, and there are often less clear signposts and guidelines about how to sort of navigate this space, and that's what we're here to do this week. Some of these unwritten rules, or some of this kind of hidden curriculum that we're going to be uncovering, includes how to navigate academic relationships, understand research culture, manage time effectively, and we're going to get into some of these. The first one, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, there's a lot of words, so don't worry about reading, don't worry about taking notes, this will be available to you. The first one is networking. We're in it. We're already doing it. It's already happening. We already have folks from Brazil who just met each other. The networking is already happening. These relationships with your peers, with professionals in your field, with your faculty mentors, these are essential, and these will open doors for you throughout your professional career. You can network in a variety of ways here on campus with the programming we provide, attending conferences, seminars, and workshops that will expand your network. And we have a lot of these opportunities that we'll be talking to you about throughout the year. We'll be discussing mentorship dynamics. This is a big one, and this is one that will persist throughout your entire program. This isn't just something we can sort of introduce you to, much like all of these topics. We can sort of introduce you to this and sort of start putting you on the right path, but this is continued engagement. This is iterative. Mentorship dynamics are really important, and the relationship with your advisor, whoever that primary advisor may be, is key to your success. So understanding their expectations early on, establishing communication style, framework, and understanding working patterns and expectations early can really help prevent misunderstandings and can help you succeed. But it's also important to seek additional mentors, and we're going to be talking about the peer mentorship program that we're rolling out soon. I'm not sure which day we're talking about it, but I know that there will be information available to you throughout. This is really important to have a community of mentors, a mentor mosaic, if you will, because you get different perspectives and different types of advice. We'll be talking about work-life harmony. I credit my colleague Tracy for not calling it work-life balance, because to Tracy's excellent point, and I will continue to credit her for this always, she said, how in the world can you balance these things? Which is so accurate. And I was just talking with another colleague recently about this concept that a former CEO of Coca-Cola talked about, which is the rubber and glass ball analogy. Does anybody know this analogy? No. Okay. So in a long time ago, many moons ago, in the early 1990s, the CEO of Coca-Cola gave a commencement address. And in this commencement address, he talked about how we're all juggling all sorts of balls. And balls are going to drop. That's just the nature of being a human being in the world, is balls are going to drop. But the important thing is to make sure that when they drop, it's a rubber ball that drops and not a glass ball that shatters. And what is rubber and what is glass changes all the time. It changes on context, it changes on where you are in your life history, it can change in a moment. But it's learning how to balance that, well, I should say harmonize that, juggling. We're going to work on that because graduate school is challenging and it can be all-consuming. But managing your time, setting boundaries for yourself and for those in your life, that's critical for maintaining your mental and physical health. I will also point out, you're often expected to work very long and brutal hours. And we are here to help you navigate that space because it's important to recognize that you need breaks. Regardless of what program you're in, you will need breaks in order to continue being successful. We're going to talk about publishing and presenting. Again, high level. This is an intro to kind of get you sort of oriented this week. But there are opportunities for you, not only throughout the academic year, but throughout your time here. For the duration of your time at UNLV, the Graduate College will offer opportunities to help you better understand the importance of publishing and to give you tools to actually help you write. Not only to produce things, but to help you write better. Publications are a major currency in academia. In almost every field here, you will be writing at some point. So learning how to navigate the peer review process, learning how to choose the appropriate journals for your discipline, learning how to respond to reviewers, all of this is important, and you will get training and you will get support in your home unit. But not everyone has the same level of investment from their home unit in terms of how this is structured and how you can be supported. And so we offer opportunities to help you do that. Presenting your work at conferences is also important. It's not just about sharing your research, however. It is also about making a name for yourself in your field, and it's about the first thing that we talked about. It's also about networking. Imposter syndrome is a big one, and we're going to talk about it throughout the week in a tangential way. And I'll mention why we've sort of made that decision. So many graduate students do feel like they maybe don't belong, or they're not necessarily as competent as their peers. Recognizing that this is widespread, recognizing that this is common, recognizing that pretty much probably most people are feeling that, that is what we want to normalize here, so that it doesn't become overwhelming. And if it does become overwhelming, that you know where to go to seek the resources and support that will help you. However, unlike other institutions, we're probably not going to belabor the imposter syndrome here. And the reason that we've chosen to do this is intentional. And it's because focusing too much on the imposter syndrome can be negative. It's important to also address the systemic biases and the inequities that have created this structure in the first place, that have created an environment that contributes to these feelings. UNLV is an access institution. Anybody know what that means? It's an access institution. You can take a flyer. Any guesses? All right, I'll tell you. An access institution, meaning that one of the core values of UNLV is that anyone who wants a degree and who meets the requirements to get in, who is good enough to get in and wants to be here, can get a graduate degree at our institution. That's big. That's huge. Not only are we an access institution at the undergrad level, but we're an access institution at the graduate level. Remember, Carnegie R1. So we are an R1 institution. We are also an MSI, which is a minority serving institution. We are an HSI, which is a Hispanic serving institution. And we are an ANAPISI institution, an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution. We are also what is called an HSRU, a Hispanic Serving Research University. That means that we are an R1 institution and also an HSI, serving a very large percentage of Hispanic and Latino students. But importantly, there's only 22 of these universities in the country. 22. That is who UNLV is. So are we going to belabor the imposter syndrome? Nope. Because everyone in this room belongs here. Everybody in this room and online made it into their program and deserves to be here. But we are going to provide resources to help you if it gets a little overwhelming or if it becomes a little too much. So we are here to support you. We're also going to be talking about academic expectations. So very broadly this week, sort of what are those expectations? And of course, this is going to vary by your department. This is going to vary by your advisor. All of this is going to be highly variable, but we can talk about some kind of high-level things, understanding the importance of the academy in general, and to have you kind of be aware of sort of picking up on what those cues are and helping you be prepared to better understand the culture in your own field and in your own department. And one example that I've listed here is in some of the disciplines in this room, collaboration is key. So really what co-authorship looks like and how that collaborative research is done, sort of in a bench space environment, sort of in a lab environment, or a lot of our engineering colleagues. Individual achievement is also something in neuroscience and psych that is also really valued, right? So it really depends on what field you're in, what the publishing expectations might look like. And this can influence how you approach your work, and we're here to help you navigate that space. Funding and financial management. I heard a lot of you talk about how you're a bit nervous about how you're gonna keep all those balls in the air and how you're going to pay for your education and sort of pay for your life while you're here, or the life of your family members while they came with you on this journey, because they're here with you as well. So understanding how to secure funding, whether that's through grants or fellowships or assistantships, is critical. Often students are expected to apply for these opportunities. We have many of these opportunities available at the Graduate College, including, and you'll learn all about these this week, but including scholarships for things like childcare support. Right? That stuff is available through the grad college. Managing a tight budget is a reality for most graduate students. It is certainly a reality for almost all of our graduate students at UNLV, and we know that. So it's important to be aware of the financial resources and support that are available to you throughout your time here, and we'll be going over that this week as well. Another thing to be thinking about as you're orienting yourself to the topics this week is that the job market starts early. So start thinking about your career options early, whether that's within the academy or outside of it. Equally valuable opportunities exist within the academy and outside of that. And because we also have our doctoral degrees in the professional schools here, many of you will be going into clinical practice once you finish your degree. So thinking about sort of how you want to orient yourself early on is really helpful. Internships, teaching experience, industry collaborations, these are critical for future job prospects. So be thinking about that as you onboard. Building a professional online presence can also increase your visibility. We'll be talking about that too. I know many of you mentioned that you're a bit nervous about starting your graduate assistantship. We are going to be talking about that also. We have all sorts of resources available to you through the Grad Financial Services team. And we are always available also to answer any of your questions as you start that process. Self-advocacy is another thing that we want to highlight this week. Is that we all need to advocate for ourselves in our lives. The degree to which we do so varies depending on context. But it's likely that you will need to advocate for yourself in various situations while you are here, whether that's things like negotiating deadlines or requesting resources or perhaps asking for some clarification, some clarity on your role in a collaborative research project. Don't be afraid to ask for that help or that clarification. Don't be afraid to reach out to seek the support that you need. And if you don't know where to go, you can always come to the graduate college first, and we will help point you in the right direction for whatever support that might be. So please do reach out to us. Balancing independence with guidance is a big one. Again, this is iterative. We can do very high-level introductions this week, but this is something that you're going to continue to negotiate and renegotiate throughout your entire degree program. So graduate school often requires a very high degree of self-motivation, which is why it can be very overwhelming, and it can seem unbelievably challenging, even impossible sometimes. But that high degree of self-motivation and independence needs to be balanced with seeking guidance and support from your advisor, from other faculty members in your program, from your peer group when needed, and from other resources available to you on campus, which we will be summarizing and going over and sharing all of that information with you throughout the week. And all of this comes together in this program. Why do we have the Bridge program? Why do we care about the Bridge program? Well, we want you to be successful, right? We want you to be successful. But more importantly, we want to encourage persistence. What is persistence? We know what the word means. But what does persistence mean conceptually in this space? Persistence in graduate school, particularly in STEM and STEM-related fields, is influenced by a combination of personal, academic, and environmental factors. And all of the things we just talked about go into that persistence. It's crucial in graduate school because this journey is arduous. It's challenging, it's long.
You have a schedule. 1900 to 2000 Bridge 2024 where?
It's happening. That's my 10-minute warning. Thank you. 10-minute warning. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that actually. It helps you stay focused on your long-term goals and develop resilience, right? It's what I tell my daughter. I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she's had middle school started this week. I guess last week. Listen, whoa, right? So we're navigating a lot in 6th grade. A lot is happening. And one of the things that we've talked about surprisingly often in the last week plus of school is that life is going to knock you down. Life is going to knock you down. It's not success and happiness and persistence is not about figuring out ways where you don't get knocked down, because that's going to happen no matter what. It's figuring out how to get back up again, how to get up, dust yourself off, and keep going. And that is persistence. That is what we care about. So what are the elements of persistence? Well, we talked about a lot of them. We walked through sort of a lot of these, but again, you're going to have this slide deck available to you. And I have more information on all of these if you're wondering, but academic preparation and fit is one of them, right? So your preparation for your degree and what your fit for the department. They admitted you, so you have that fit, right? Mentorship and advising, sort of navigating that space. Research opportunities, making sure that you avail yourself to those research opportunities that are important for your success if that's the track that you choose to walk down. Social support and community is unbelievably important in life in general. I'm an anthropologist, I'm a behaviorist, I care about human connection. It's one of the defining characteristics of our species, but also it's really, really important in graduate school to find your people. Financial stability, figuring out what that means for you during this phase of your life and how we can help you to be as financially stable as you can as you're working through your degree. Work-life harmony, we talked about that. Better understanding culture and institutional climate. Intrinsic motivation and resilience, we just talked about that. Hopefully she's taken on that message. Career outlook, sort of thinking about what you want to do. And importantly, I added this one. This is not in most of the scholarly literature, so this is my own contribution. I added passion and enthusiasm because I think one of the most important elements of persistence is finding joy in the work that you do and continuing to find that joy and remind yourself why you wanted to do this crazy thing like get a graduate degree, because there are going to be moments when you question that. There are going to be moments where you tell yourself, maybe this wasn't for me, and maybe it isn't, but I think it is. And I think that one of the most important elements of persistence is allowing yourself to remember the joy that you feel right now. Yes, the nervousness, but the joy, the excitement, the enthusiasm and passion that brought you here to begin with. Oh, we can't bottle that stuff. So just find your joy and remember it, because that is going to be one of the things that helps you get back up again. All right, that is my spiel for today. And we have 6 minutes for questions, but it can be any question at all. Comment, question, broad, wide-ranging. If you're online and you have a question, please type it into the chat. Sage can help us navigate an answer. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
So,
hallelujah.
If we come in, I mean, like, what is coming in and asking for help look like? Do we just walk into the office? Do we make an appointment, send an email?
All of the above. Send an email. We have live chat. You can pick up the phone. You can walk into the Welcome Center. We have a team of 40 people at the Graduate College, and even if we can't answer your question, we know who can. And so we will be able to point you in the right direction. And if those resources aren't resources that we offer here, we know where you can get them on campus. And so at the end of this week, you should have a pretty good idea of where to go depending on what help you need. That's the whole point of this program, is so that you don't have to figure it out and kind of, it shouldn't be as opaque as it is for graduate students, right? There's so many resources available to undergrads when they start, and so it helps them be successful upon landing. Our goal is for you to be successful upon landing. And so you should know where to go for all of those things by the end of this week. And if not, we're going to get you there. Yes?
Are there any staff that are dedicated to any disciplines? Any staff at the Graduate College that's dedicated to
Yes, I will let Tracy answer that.
So we do have RPC coordinators.
Retention, progression, completion.
Thank you. And so when you log into the Grad Rebel Gateway, on that homepage, you will be able to see your point of contact. So your RPC coordinator as well as your graduate coordinator. And so between those two, they're going to be the ones that really kind of help you get set up.
And we'll be going into
questions point you in the right direction.
And we go more deeply, right, Tracy? I don't know what day it is, but we do a deep dive into RPC on Wednesday. Thanks, Tracy. Any other questions? Any of our international students have any questions right now?
Yes. The UNLV is about for minors, something like this. I didn't get that.
Which part?
You were talking about that you have a lot of students from Latin countries.
Oh, yes.
You talked about minority groups.
Yes, an MSI, Minority Serving Institution.
Okay.
So a Minority Serving Institution in the US is a designation that indicates that we're a university that has a very high number of minority students enrolled. So this is students who identify as non-white.
Okay.
So we have a high percentage of students of color, high percentage of immigrants, a high percentage of students who come from low-income households who enroll at the undergrad level. And increasingly, that is also the case at the graduate level. So MSI is the global designation. Under MSI, we also have those additional designations, which means that of those, essentially minority, and we're a majority minority institution, so I have some thoughts on the word minority to begin with, but I will leave that aside. That is the federal designation, MSI. But under that umbrella, it's also HSI, which is Hispanic Serving, and then ANAPZ, which is Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander. So it's a very diverse campus. And that's the take-home message, is that education is for everyone, and we're all in it together. And this institution, it is kind of our backbone. Yeah, it is who we are as a community. And so I assure you, your community is here. And we're going to be talking about graduate registered student organizations later in the week. So the cultural affinity groups on campus, we have additional resources available for our international students to help you sort of find community and sort of kind of get your bearings. So we'll be rolling that out too.